and welcome to our afternoon scope on Money Making Mom and how to build a business without completely exhausting yourself. So I'm running a little late, and that is because I laid down to take a 10-minute nap at 1:30, and guess what time I woke up at? 3:03, and I was super groggy. Some of you know that I was in South Africa earlier this week, and so I'm still have some jet lag, and clearly still have some jet lag, but that is life. And you know what? We're going to be talking about, I felt like it was kind of appropriate that this topic was what I had planned for this afternoon, because here is an example of how you have to take care of yourself first. So welcome everyone. If you are new, my name is Crystal Payne, and I'm the founder of MoneySavingMom, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, and also the creator of the 14-day online course called Make Over Your Mornings, and that's at makeoveryourmornings.com. Today's question is from Sarah, and Sarah, she tweeted at me, and my Twitter is twitter.com/MoneySavingMom if you'd like to tweet a question at me that you'd love for me to answer in a scope. And her question was, I was wondering, how can a mom of 3 little ones, mine are 5, 3, and 1, find the time to grow a blog without killing myself? And I thought it was a great question, but I thought that I would address it not so specifically. She's asking for how to grow a blog and finding the time for that, but how to actually build a business without completely exhausting yourself. If you have little kids, or maybe you just already have a full-time job, or more than one full-time jobs, you know, maybe you have multiple part-time jobs, and you want to build a business, but you're trying to figure out, how on earth do I find the time to do that? So some of this material is going to be from my new book, Money Making Mom, How Every Woman Can Earn More and Make a Difference. If you haven't pre-ordered a copy of this book, I would highly encourage you to do that. It's available on Amazon right now it's less than $17 right now. And if you go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com, MoneyMakingMomBook.com, you can get the details on this book, Money Making Mom, as well as special bonuses that you can get if you pre-order. So if you pre-order in the next few weeks, you can get some really cool bonuses. Plus, there's a really cool 5-day course that you can sign up for free. It's a 5-day course on how I make a full-time income from home. So go to Money Making Mom Book to get the 5-day course, to sign up for the 5-day course and to read all about my new book. Okay, so how do you build a business without exhausting yourself? How do you find the time to build a business without killing yourself? Someone asked, can you get the bonuses if you pre-order the Kindle version? Yes, you can, and the Kindle version is less than $11 on Amazon right now. So that's Money Making Mom. Go to Amazon, search for Money Making Mom, and then you can go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com, and you can fill out the form to get the free bonuses, which are a free 5-day course or 7-day course on how to make over your calendars, and a free download with all of my favorite tools for productivity and some other things. So go to Money Making Mom Book for all the details on that. Okay, so how do you find the time to build a business without killing yourself? How do you find the time to build something, to start something without being completely exhausted? Well, number one, you can make the time. Make the time. So look at your schedule right now. Where do you have extra time? Maybe time that you're wasting, maybe time that you're spending on something that you don't need to be spending on. Maybe you're on Periscope and you need to be focusing on building a business. Maybe you are on Facebook. Maybe you're reading, watching TV. Maybe you're doing something that's not really benefiting your life that you could replace with working on building a business. So make the time. You need to prioritize. It's well been said that if something's important to you, you'll find the time. And if it's not, you'll make an excuse. So make the time. Number 2, borrow the time. What can you cut? If you feel like you are using your day and every single minute of your day is full with important things, then maybe you can't really just make the time in your schedule. So you're going to need to borrow the time. And what does that mean? That could mean that you need to cut something. What are you doing right now that you could cut out of your life? Maybe it's a good thing, but it's not allowing you to have the time that you need to build a business. So it's something that it's less important than another priority that you've set. If you've said that building a business is a priority to you, maybe your family needs the income, maybe you really need to exercise your gifts and talents, maybe you'd like to come home and not be working full time, then you need to cut something and borrow time so that you can have the time to invest in your business. So what can you cut? What should you say no to? There are a lot of good things in life, but there are only a few best things. So cut some things so that you can have the time to build a business. So number 1, make the time. Number 2, borrow the time. Number 3, buy the time. Now this is one of those that some people, they're like, well, I can't do that. There's no way on earth that I can buy time. And maybe when you're first starting out, you can't, but as you get into building your business, you need to really consider whether buying yourself some time is a smart thing. Maybe it's what can be the best return on your investment of time. So what can you hire out? Maybe that's hiring a babysitter to come in for 2 hours a week to help you to have the time to focus on writing or building the business or making those phone calls or doing that research. Maybe that is someone to help you with your laundry. When I had 3 little kids and my oldest was 5, and so they were 5, 2, or like just turned 5, 2, and 0 if I'm doing the math right, I was overwhelmed. And I wrote about that in my book, Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. I wrote about how I was so overwhelmed and I'd stretched myself thin and I had not done things the right way and I had completely exhausted myself. And I was losing my marriage and my health and my family and my home and everything as a result of trying to put too much into building the business and trying to do too much myself. And so my husband said, well, what is the straw that's breaking the camel's back? And I finally said, you know what? It's my laundry. It's my laundry pile. I'm so overwhelmed with my laundry pile because I'm really good at washing. I'm really good at drying, and I'm horrible at folding and putting away. So I could wash and dry, and then I'd have this huge pile in the corner of my room that was just pointing its finger at me every single time I walked in the room saying, you're a failure. You failed at laundry. And it would discourage me and it would get me down. And my husband said, well, let's hire somebody to do the laundry. And I was like, hire somebody to do the laundry? Do you not know that my blog is Money Saving Mom? I can't just hire out somebody to do the laundry. That's so extravagant. And then I realized, you know what? He is right. He is right. Because I needed to take that big burden off of my back. And it was weighing me down. And I was doing so much at the time, and I was spreading myself so thin. And so there was this sweet girl in our church that she had been really just been such a servant and serving our family when we were at church. And so we asked her if she could come over one day a week and be our mother's helper. And one of her big responsibilities was to do our laundry. And we paid her. We paid her $10 an hour. She was a young girl, and so it provided a way for her to earn money. And it was a huge, huge burden off of my back to know that that laundry pile was no longer there. And so for me, it was a humbling thing for me to say, I can't do it all. And yet it was the best thing ever because it freed up so much time. And so I've become a big believer in hiring out things like that so that I can buy the time, so that I can focus on those things that only I can do. I've talked before about now how I have a team of people who help me. I have cleaners that come in once a week, and these people are helping. I'm buying my time back so that I can take a nap this afternoon, like I took a nap. And someone says about swapping services. That is so great when you're first starting out. Is there a way that you could swap services with someone? Maybe there's another mom you know who she wants to start a business, and the two of you could swap babysitting. So one Friday, you take her kids for the afternoon so she can work on her business, and the other Friday, she takes your kids, and you swap back and forth so that you have the time. So buying the time. Maybe that's just getting dinner out, like going and picking up takeout once a week. That's going to cost you probably $20 or $25 if you know the right places to go and you use coupons. But you could buy yourself a few hours of not making dinner, not cleaning up from dinner, so that you can have time to invest in your business. So 1, make the time. 2, borrow the time. 3, buy the time. And for me, I found that when I owned the fact that I was a work-at-home mom, it changed the way that I viewed life. So for a long time, I tried to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm not. Stay-at-home moms are wonderful, but I felt like I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was working part-time or full-time. And so no wonder I was exhausting myself, because if I'm a work-at-home mom, my schedule needs to look different than a stay-at-home mom. And there's nothing wrong with either. Both are wonderful, but they're not the same thing. So owning that I was a work-at-home mom helped me to give myself permission to make better choices and not try to feel like I had to do it all. So some very practical step-by-step things to think about as you're wondering, do I have the time, and how can I find the time? How can I hire out the time? How can I buy the time? How can I borrow the time? It can look like this. For one, you need to set goals. So you need to know, what is this business and where do you want to be in 3 to 6 months from now? Where do you want to be income-wise? Where do you want to be with setting up your business? Where do you want to be in 3 to 6 months from now? Where do you want to be in a year from now? So have that in your mind. So set those few goals, and then break those goals down into bite-sized pieces. And then you can figure out, okay, this is how much time that I can invest in this. Maybe it's 2 hours a week. Maybe it's an hour a day. I don't know what it is, because it's going to look different for every single person. But if you have 3 little children, like Sarah, who asked this question, does, you're not going to be able to have 8 hours a day. You're probably not going to even be able to have 3 hours a day. But maybe you can carve out 30 minutes to an hour a day. And so set those goals of where you want to be in 3 to 6 months from now, break those goals down into bite-sized pieces, and then carve out the time blocks in your calendar. Make an appointment with yourself in your calendar that says, this is when I'm going to work on my business. Put it on your calendar. It's an appointment that you're going to make with yourself that you cannot miss. And then when that appointment comes on your calendar, you're going to set your timer, and then you're going to take out your list of goals, and you're going to take out the list where they're broken down into bite-sized pieces, and you're going to start chipping away. So you're going to set your timer and just say, okay, goal number 1. Maybe that's Sarah was wanting to set up a blog. So she's going to, first off, research what platform is she going to blog on. And then she's going to, next up, so maybe for 2 weeks, that's all she does. She looks around, she figures out, okay, do I want to use WordPress? Okay, if I'm going to use WordPress, then here's what I need to do to set that up. And she's going to just step by step set her timer, and during that time block, work on the first goal on her list. And then when the timer goes off, you put it away and you go on with your life. And so that way it doesn't take over your life, and you have it within boundaries so that you're not exhausting yourself, you're not overwhelming yourself, but at the same time that you're chipping away at it, and that you've made it a priority, that you've found the time for it, and then you're chipping away at it little bit by little bit. The other important thing that I'm going to tell you is this: don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to me, because here's the thing. My kids are older now. My kids are 10, 8, and 6. That is a much different time than when my kids were 5, 2, and 0. Much, much, much different. The other thing is my husband is home full time now. We both work in the business together. My husband helps me with so much of stuff. Right now, my husband is at taking my daughter to ice skating, and he has my son as well. And then he had my oldest daughter, she's down doing laundry. That all happened, and that was all taken care of, and I took a nap. And so you can't compare yourself to me, because I have a very, very different life than you. And for me, I can't compare myself to other people. For instance, one person who I've learned so much from is Michael Hyatt. And I could look at him and I could say, oh, I need to be doing all the things that Michael is doing. But guess what? Michael doesn't have young children at home. Michael doesn't have children that he's homeschooling. Michael is a man, and he doesn't have the same responsibilities that I do. And so if I look at him and I feel like I need to be doing what he's doing, I'm always going to come up short, and I'm going to discourage myself, I'm going to be disappointed in myself, and I'm going to run myself ragged. I cannot do what other people do, and you cannot do what I do, because everyone is in a different season and a different situation. I can do now so many things that I couldn't do back when I didn't have a team. I didn't have someone who was helping me with my email. I didn't have someone who was helping me with posting deals. Just recently, I hired a new assistant who is helping me with more of my email and helping me with some of my writing and helping me with posting deals. And so that has freed me up to be able to do these afternoon periscopes. I couldn't do 2 periscopes in a day. I couldn't be working on my book launch because I had too much on my plate. And so I bought some time by hiring somebody else. And so that allowed me to be able to have the margin to do other things. So I just share all this to say, please don't discourage yourself by comparing yourself with someone else. If you can only work on your business for 15 or 30 minutes every few days, that's okay. Do what you can do, and don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about that. You need to focus on doing what you can do. Different families are different. So give yourself grace, make wise choices. Maybe it's that you have to set aside the business for a few weeks. Maybe that's you have to do wise things like this afternoon. I needed to be doing some other things. I quote unquote needed to be doing some other things, but actually what was more important was for me to take a nap. And I've learned over time that making wise choices by putting first things first, which sometimes that's my health and that's my sanity and that's making time to refresh myself. That's so much more important than hitting all of my goals when I wanted to hit them and doing everything that I wanted to do in a day. Because if I'm committed long term to being able to stick with this business for the long haul, I have to set boundaries. I have to prioritize. And I can't just constantly be going, and never taking time to refresh myself, because I will run myself ragged. So that's what I want to encourage you with. So 1, make the time. Where can you find the time? How can you prioritize better in order to have time to invest in your business? Number 2, borrow the time. What can you cut out of your life? What can you say no to have the time to invest in your business? And 3, buy the time. What can you hire out in order to have the time, in order to create the time to be able to invest in your business? And then set those goals, break those goals into bite-sized pieces, carve out the time blocks in your calendar, set the timer during those time blocks, and chip away at your goals. And most importantly, remember, do not compare yourself to other people. Do what works for you, and don't worry about what other people do, because you've got to give yourself grace. If you want to be in it for the long haul, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, if you want to not lose your health and your family in the process, make sure to give yourself grace. If you haven't done so already, be sure to go to the site MoneyMakingMom book MoneyMakingMomBook.com. It tells all about my new book, Money Making Mom, How Every Woman Can Earn More and Make a Difference. And at that site, you can learn about how to get your free pre-order bonuses, as well as sign up for a free 5-day course on how to make a full-time income from home, how I make a full-time income from home. It's very practical, it's very personal. I share a lot of my failures, and I share how I've learned from those failures. And so that's at MoneyMakingMomBook.com. It's a free 5-day course on how I make a full-time income from home. If you have a question that you would love for me to answer in an upcoming scope, you can tweet at me. My Twitter is twitter.com/MoneySavingMom. So I'm MoneySavingMom on Twitter. Or you can go to MoneySavingMom.com, my site, and you can go to a contact form there and you can leave a comment or a question there if you'd like for me to answer a question that you have in an upcoming scope. So I will look forward to being back here. I think tomorrow, it's Saturday, but I'll probably be back here tomorrow sharing another Money Making Mom scope, probably tomorrow afternoon around 3 p.m. Central Time, if I don't take a nap like I did today and fall asleep. And so I think tomorrow, I can't remember what it is that we're going to talk about. How's that for being organized? I have it on my calendar, but I didn't look. But I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Make sure to check out MoneyMakingBook.com and tweet at me if you have a question that you'd like for me to answer in an upcoming scope. And have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks so much.